You cannot overestimate Les Paul's influence in American culture. Not only did he invent the guitar, but he also invented
The
electric guitar, of course, electric guitar. This very one here, he invented 8-track recording, a lot of gadgets. So when you hear people recording like multiple guitars and overdubbing in the studio, he invented that himself. He had the first 8-track tape deck. He still got it. He's still playing one night a week in New York at the Iridium every Tuesday night, I think, or Monday night. And he's 90s. Here's a great, he's got a good sense of humor. You know, they always ask musicians, what are you thinking about when you're playing? It's a big, profound thing. He says, I think of my wife's sister. That's a quote when he's 90 years old. So, you know, what are you going to do with that? So forget all the music theory, you know. But Les started out as a country guy, rhubarb bred, and he's just titanic in influence. Yeah. And that middle picture, that's one of the first electrics ever built. No, is that it? Is that the log or not?
No, there, on the right is
there's the log on the right.
It's in the Smithsonian.
It's in the Smithsonian, and the middle part is the guitar. He just added the two sides to look like a guitar. But that was like one of the first, maybe the first solid body ever made, I'm not sure. And then he had a duo with his wife, Mary Ford, for years. They worked for Listerine. Listerine even built their house for him. And they used to do a TV show from their house every week. And so he'd have like 8 or 10 or 20 guitars all going at once. So what I'm going to do is, I got some pedals. I'm going to do a harmonizer. So I get 2 notes at once. I don't get 20 or 30, but that's not too bad. And I'm going to turn this down just a tad. Now, I do like to play loud. I've had a few ruckuses over the years over that. Hey, Guitar Hero, remember? We're supposed to play loud. Anyway. So we're going to do one of Les Paul's very famous tunes, How High the Moon, and I'm just do some solos on it with the harmonizer. So not only did he invent electric guitar, he invented an 8-track, and man, he's one of my real heroes, man. Plus, he was a huge influence on guys like Jeff Beck, Chet Atkins, you name it. But John Reinhardt was a huge influence on Les. You never know. Nobody I'd rather play with than these two. How about a hand for Ernie and Mary? Holy cow. All right, I'm getting old and crusty. I think Chuck Berry, yep, there he is. He's quite a hoot. He's not probably the nicest guy in the world. He was highly influenced by T-Bone. He said in the guitar player interview, he told T-Bone's daughter, he said, "Hon, I got all my stuff from your dad." So there you go. He's from St. Louis, I'm from St. Louis, so we have something in common. There's a bunch of things we don't have in common, thankfully. One of his last busts some years ago, he's got a farm outside of St. Louis. He had drilled a hole in the women's restroom so you could look in at the women in there, and he got popped for it, you know. And, hey, true story. That's rock and roll, huh? In 1970, went with my first band. We were living in St. Louis at the time playing, and we got a gig at his farm as a rock festival. When he wanted to play, we were on stage. We played with my band. I didn't get to play with him. He didn't want the guitar player. So he played with my band, and he's put his arm around the harmonica player and all, you know. And later on, after the gig, Clay's walking around, and Chuck's got a pistol. He's chasing people out of a swimming pool. You know. And he acted like he didn't even know Clay. And his biker friends, the Bone Shakers, were there. They slid our tires that night. It was quite a festival, let me tell you. We got there somehow. But anyway, Chuck plays great blues as well as inventing rock and roll. So we're going to do the classic Johnny B. Good, of course. Oh, there we go.
My favorite.
Yeah. And if anybody wants an autograph tonight, we can arrange this. Okay? Just give me a Sharpie. That'll be fine. So here we go. Give a hand for Conger here for digging all this up, man. I've been playing guitar a long time, but I've learned a lot of stuff from this guy. Just the stuff he sends me over the net is a riot. You know, the Rights collection. Oh my God. You cannot play a gig without knowing this tune. So here we go. In G, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, I'm going to give a plug for my friend Brian Deckenbach. He is a great luthier. Does all my guitar work, barters guitars, and he lent me this beautiful instrument. And he's down on about Alameda and Broadway at the Music Gear, guys. You need any guitar work? Go. Really good. He gave me a real nice baritone guitar in exchange for lessons. Let me plug this guy in. You don't want to be in tune, sir. Good. Again, an absolute titan of the instrument. He's one of the best in history, any culture, any time period, I don't care, he's just phenomenal. Highly influenced by Django and Les Paul both, but he came up with his own thing of finger picking, more thumb pick, and an extraordinarily complex style. If you play country music, you have to learn it. There's no way around it. My only regret is I never got to meet him. Great fellow. He was also a big producer in Nashville, produced hundreds and hundreds of records. Signed Charlie Pride, which was a big deal, you know, signed a black dude in the country thing, and he's just a marvelous human being. So we're gonna do, I'm gonna do this with a solo of Mr. Sandman, which is actually a hit for him. Let's see if we can pull this off. You never know. If you think it's a wrong note, it's probably a flat 9. Or augment 11 or something like this.